All right, everybody. What'd you think of last night's Pacers comeback 111-110? My take? Thunder lost exactly like the Celtics did. Missing shots. Now, I will say this about the Thunder. They only had 6 turnovers on the night. Imagine, though, what the Pacers could have done if they didn't turn the ball over 24 times in a game. I thought this wasn't supposed to be a series. The Thunder were minus 800 at one point. I thought the Thunder were going to roll the Pacers. That's what I heard. Thunder are going to roll the Pacers. Pacers don't stand a chance. You know what happened? When the game was on the line, the Pacers know how to win. The Pacers can shoot the three and knock down shots. They can defend. They can make you work. And you know who they made work? The MVP of the league, who missed shots. The final shot, by the way. Not hearing the criticism today of SGA. Not hearing about the big choke job. It's all about, can you believe the Pacers and Halliburton? I can. I don't know. I feel like myself and Scaz, we told you all year long, yes, the Celtics would win the championship. We told you that. But we told you their toughest opponent would be the Indiana Pacers. By the way, I'll say it again in case you didn't hear it. The Celtics swept the Pacers a year ago. Granted, Halliburton got hurt, but doesn't matter. The Celtics swept them. How's that make you feel today, Celtics fans? 617-779-0985. Scaz, we were watching the game last night. We were here. It got close. They hit back-to-back threes, right? The Pacers. That's our guy. And then, they had that little issue out of bounds, remember? I think we said that the Pacers lost the timeout there.
Or at least we thought. We didn't have sound, but yeah, they challenged the Siakam out of bounds at the end.
They go to SGA, couldn't get into the lane, settled for a poor jump shot. Pacers rebounded, outlet, Halliburton gets it one-on-one, gets a good look, knocks it down, wins the game. I'm making this a Celtics discussion quickly because the Thunder did exactly how the Celtics would lose games. They missed their shots down the stretch. They let up defensively. How did the Pacers get back in the game, Scaz? What did they
Defense and 3-point shooting, Joe.
Oh. So people don't like threes. I just wanted to...
Well, they don't like threes when you miss them, which I can co-sign that.
Yeah.
Not good when you're missing them. But I think they shot like 46% in the second half or something from three.
46% on the night, I believe.
In the game. Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, they probably did better in the second half then. How do you blow a 17-point lead at home in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Scaz? Now, I think we can say it when it comes to the mid-rounds. Sometimes you sleep on it. Like if the Celtics lost the first one but won the next couple or whatever, they had a hiccup. Like they played with their food because they did that all year. There was a problem with the Celtics. There was a problem there.
For me, losing that lead at home, if it was the Celtics, I think the first thing would be Mazzulla, would be what people would go after, and then Tatum. And I think it's been a lot of SGA today, not as much Dagnall that I've seen. I think he deserves, a lot of the, not all the blame, but a good portion of it. I know people were questioning his rotations with SGA leaving or not putting him in until there was 8 minutes left or whatever it was. So SGA was out there plenty. I heard the afternoon show mention that there's no excuse. They got outplayed. They got outworked. The Pacers do this. They are. Whatever they have going is some sort of magic. I don't know, but it's unbelievable.
There's some sort of killer voodoo going on with Halliburton, which validate yourself. Go ahead, do it. He's done it.
He was voted the most overrated player in the league by his peers less than 6 months ago. The Pacers had an under 500 record at Christmas time, so all the people that are saying, Halliburton's a top 5 player, I don't know if I'd go that far, but he's on one of the best runs you'll ever see. Postseason run, an all-time postseason run. But this is the Pacers since the new year. We're the third best team in the league, and they're showing it right now. So whatever Rick Carlisle did, in that locker room, his switches, I think that's the Pacers' biggest advantage in this series is Rick Carlisle.
Okay, I want to bookmark that for a second. If you want to call in on this topic, 617-779-0985. This is what I wanted to ask, Scaz. Were the Thunder the better team last night? Because I think they were. I think the Thunder were the better basketball team last night. It's no different than maybe the Celtics were the better team against the Knicks and lost. So that's where I'm going with this, everybody. Oklahoma City led the game, but didn't finish. Wasn't this what the old Celtics were like? The ones that didn't get over the hump? The ones that didn't win a championship? Wasn't that what they were? That's what the Thunder are now. The Thunder are that team. The Pacers have a guy that's won a championship before and hungry players that are ascending. Miles Turner's been solid for years. Siakam's won a championship. Nembhard's rising. Neesmith's playing to his potential. Halliburton is closing in on superstardom. Closing in. Their bench is good. Scaz just mentioned the coaching. Rick Carlisle absolutely outcoached Daniel. Absolutely outcoached him. This is the question. How much does coaching really matter in the NBA? I used to think it was nothing. I think this year it's been about probably 70% of the difference. Maybe 65% if I'm giving them too much credit. In a lot of series, the better team didn't always win. In a lot of series, the better coach generally won. Generally won. So I ask, does coaching now matter in the NBA? Well, the Celtics have, I don't want to say a coaching issue, but coaching question. People now are starting to be curious of Joe Mazzulla. I'm sure people are curious about the 40-year-old coach of the Thunder today. I also wonder if the New York Knicks are curious who their next head coach would be. And when I hear names like Jason Kidd could be the next coach, that's the guy you want to go to a championship over Thibodeau? Again, what do I know these days? Like, maybe it would be better for Kidd to get out of there to go to New York. I don't know. Mike Malone. Or a guy that you've groomed. And have you noticed that? A lot of these analytic guys are struggling while the long-term coaches that have been around for a while continue to win series that they shouldn't. I think coaching is starting to become important in the NBA again. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Anybody see those betting odds right now? Oh, because the Pacers were 550. And I think I saw it somewhere around 250 today or so. I still think the Thunder show they're the better team. I think they are the better team. But you lose a game like that at home and you don't bounce back from it, it's an uphill battle on the road, I got to tell you. The line for game 2 right now on Sunday night, Thunder are minus 11, so odds makers see a big comeback. Right now, Pacers plus 245 to win the championship. The Thunder went from 800 to 300. If you want value and you still like the Thunder, I'd bet that. I'm still on the over 5.5 games. If it ends in 6, I win. But if you think the Pacers and their coach are the difference, you got yourself a nice little juicy line for the for the Pacers. Pacers. At plus 245. All right, phone number 617-779-0985. Anything else to add to the basketball talk, Scaz? Because the question I brought up was, does coaching matter in the NBA nowadays? And I'm starting to think it does.
Yeah, I mean, I would tough to argue against that. I think you saw it with, the Bucks' struggles over the last couple of years. I think not all due to coaching, but certainly held them back at times. You look at this Pacers team, how far they've gone. I do think, the Thunder roster is loaded, but Dagnall's done a really good job there. And I think Finch with Minnesota's done a really good job with that team at times as Joe punches Mike. So I'm still not going to say that coaches matter as much in, the NBA as they do in the NFL or something like that. But I think the coaching importance in the NBA is definitely, more than it was, 5 to 10 years ago when you had, David Blatt and Frank Vogel, LeBron dragging guys like that deep into the playoffs.
Agreed, Scaz. I wonder if the old school coaching is still better than the analytics.